Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Cardiff News Plus. I'm Kavya Nath. Welsh's First Minister Carwyn Jones found himself sharing the same stage with the editor of The Sun today in front of a room full of budding young journalists. The News Academy, organised by the owner of The Sun News UK, was held at Cardiff Bay. It aims to encourage the next generation of journalists in a series of workshops and presentations across the country. Fan Wang reports.
Taking a selfie with the First Minister and posting it on Twitter, journalism 21st century style. 140 young people from schools throughout South Wales were invited to the News Academy conference, which is the brainchild of News UK's Cardiff-born Director of Communication.
The News Academy is our investment in the future of our industry, and it's a real joy to come back to Cardiff, where I studied and where I grew up actually, and see all these young people from schools across South Wales coming here, hopefully for us to whet their appetite in pursuing a career in journalism.
Be careful of what you wish for. These young journalists seem eager to play their roles in difficult questions.
I think this conference is a lovely idea, but I'm trying to work out how altruistic it really is, like how much they interest in journalism. I mean, they're handing out stuff like this saying subscribe to the Times. Like, this is put on by News International, a company that's got very bad press recently. They're saying like the editor of The Sun is the most important media position in the UK, which you could argue it isn't. I mean, I'm trying to work out to what extent this is actually a good thing.
It's an issue that could be more targeted due stigma attached. It kind of puts younger people off journalism and media and itself politics, and I feel that should be addressed more.
And the First Minister had some tough points of his own to make about the media coverages of Wales.
Coverage in the media in London is pretty bad, and I think that's a real issue. There's an element of prejudice against Wales in some of the media outlets in London, and of course in some of the others they just ignore Wales, so I think there's a job to be done.
This initiative is part of News UK's charm offensive, and the current editor of The Sun wants Wales better covered by his paper.
I think that Wales is probably underrepresented in the media. But as a business, we are always looking for new opportunities. We have the challenge of trying to reinvent our business throughout the UK. So it is on the list. When we get to establishing what our opportunity is in Wales and how we can best do that, you'll probably be the first.
It's unlikely Wales will run out of journalists to grow the First Minister. Today's conference in the Pierhead building was oversubscribed.
Climate change is affecting everybody on the planet, according to an intergovernmental report published today. In Wales, iconic buildings turned off their lights during the Earth Hour event on Saturday night, showing that this nation is moving towards a more sustainable future. Zhao Jiang reports.
The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has just released their Working Group 2 report today, warning that no one on the planet will be untouched by the damaging effect of climate change. People in Wales have already felt its impact over the last winter, with days of heavy rains, floods and strong storms. Now Welsh Government and environment campaign groups are taking a forward step, pushing our nation towards a more sustainable future. On Saturday night, the National Assembly of Wales joined the global Lights Out celebration Earth Hour from 8:30 to 9:30. A large LED image was created, echoing the theme of WWF Cymru's campaign this year, The Welsh Wish, asking people what is the future they want.
This year we have a great opportunity for Sustainable Wales with the Future Generations Bill, and if we get that law right, it means that Wales will help to tackle some of these issues such as climate change and hopefully inspire other countries to do the same.
The Future Generations Bill will be introduced in this summer, aiming to put sustainable development at the heart of government policy making in Wales. Gareth Clubb is the director of Friends of the Earth Cymru.
The potential for that bill is huge, and that's why Friends of the Earth Cymru has helped to draft an alternative bill or to make improvements and amendments to what the Welsh Government has proposed so far. So what we'd like to see is a bill that explicitly states how sustainable development is going to be manifesting itself in Wales.
Despite the bill's great potential, campaigners warn that if the bill does not have a significant impact on government policy, then its usefulness is limited. Zhao Zhang, Cardiff NewsPlus.
A new survey from the Arts Council of Wales says people still find culture important in their lives, with around 75% of the population attending at least one artistic or cultural event a year. But is that good news for the Welsh painters? I went to meet Sarah Richards, a Cardiff artist with a new exhibition in the city. I'm here at the Fountain Fine Art Gallery trying to get a bit of local flavour when it comes to Welsh art. Sarah Richards, a local artist, is in attendance today and it's the opening of her exhibition. So let's have a look and see what we can find out. Paintings like this one of the Millennium Stadium highlight the Cardiff theme of the exhibition. Being away from Cardiff as a student inspired Richards to play with the shapes and lines of her town in her work.
It was a nostalgia because I was missing it, so then your heart becomes involved and you start feeling poetic about a place because you're missing it.
Visitors were drawn to Richards' dramatic style, which showcases movement, rhythm and a vivid colour contrast.
I think this is one of the amazing exhibitions of Sarah. I've known her for at least 12 years now. I know her soul. I know her, she's a humanist too. This is very unique way of doing it. She has got beautiful style and it's quite unique as well. But the colors here are a little bit different from the other previous exhibitions, which I find them fascinating.
Came in just by chance actually, but looking at the paintings, I think it's really nice to see some honest kind of depictions of Cardiff. I mean, it's really great and it's really rainy.
Welsh people find art really important as a part of their culture, so I think it's a really important part to us. You're right, we don't buy so much at the moment because of the recession, but we still value it.
Even though the economy is tight, people in Wales find money and time to enjoy art and culture more than ever before, according to the Arts Council of Wales.
I think that's great for Wales and I think it's great for painters in Wales. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more, activity, buying activity.
So what's on the cards for Sarah Richards next? The artist wants to leave Wales and paint the Manhattan skyline, and that is what she hopes to work on this year. Cardiff is the second most generous city for spending on Mother's Day, according to a survey by Cousins Mum and Me. People here spend an average of £35 presents for their mums. In Liverpool, it's more like £50. But in Sheffield and Southampton, the average is just £5. Sarah Way looks at the two very different ways to celebrate Mother's Day.
Here at St Andrew and the St Taylor's Church in Cardiff, it's a Mothering Sunday service. As well as the usual prayers and hymns, there were flowers for every woman in the congregation, and plenty of love to go around. Mother's Day has its own place in the religion's calendar.
It's a season where we fast and we try and be serious. And it was the day when young people who were working away from home, working in the big house perhaps as a servant, were allowed to go home. So they were allowed to go home to their mother church and to their mothers. So that's where the tradition of Mothering Sunday came from.
Many people prefer to buy gifts to show their love to their mother. Flowers, greeting cards, and a Sunday lunch are the top choices for most people.
My mom, I bought her some stuff right there in my bag. I'll post it to Ghana. She lives in Ghana, so I have to post it to her.
Nothing too much, just some flowers and a lovely cards, as you can see.
We are going to the restaurant. It's Bellini's restaurant, just behind the corner, just to have a meal together.
Mother's Day is big as business, and there are no shortage of special offers and promotions. However much you love your mom, there will be somebody to help you show it.
We had about 40 to 60 people coming on a Mother's Day. We got specials for a mothers, every mother having free desserts on us. Average spend per head is about £20 per person, and lunchtime looked really promising, and we had also lots of bookings for the evening times.
Back at St Andrew and the St Taylor's Church, there is a different view about how Mother's Day and the money should mix.
I think commercialisation generally is a bad thing. It's a pity to lose the differences and the special things of a given culture.
It's the end of this year's Mother's Day service. The people here are celebrating without spending, and they will do it all again next year.
Football now, and Cardiff's team in the Premier League gets plenty of attention. In the lower leagues, it's a different story, and very few football fans go to watch the games. The Cardiff Grange Harlequins play in Welsh League Division 3. James Yan has been to meet them.
The Harlequins are the first Cardiff club to move from park football to the Welsh League. They reached the Welsh Premier League in 2005, but lasted just one season. The team quickly relegated due to lack of money. Ishi Akita is the club's secretary. He got involved after the club was relegated.
From what I've heard, the money kind of dried out. The person who was supported the club financially, he, I think, decided to maybe leave. At the time, it was going to fold. So in the summer, we were approached with a friend of mine to come on board and form a new committee. So we formed a new committee, and 6 years on, we still play in Division 3.
Cardiff International Sports Stadium is the current home of the Harlequins. But the high-standard stadium does not attract more local supporters to cheer players up. The only audience for the weekend's game is a steward who is responsible for collecting the match ball. There are only around 50 loyal supporters, but each home game costs the team around £340. Just half a mile away from Harlequin Stadium is the Cardiff City Stadium. The average attendance for Bluebirds match day is around 27,000. It's a big difference, but it's a reality.
Being a local club and Cardiff City being a stone throw away from us, sometimes if it's a big game, and I suppose it's our own fault that we haven't got anyone here. If we were in the top 2 in the league and pushing for promotion, I'm sure the local people will get on board, and you'd see a couple hundred people in the stand, and that's our aim for next season.
Leighton Maxwell is a Harlequins player coach. He once played alongside Michael Owen and Steven Gerrard for Liverpool. After his retirement, he became a grass footballer. He says there's a big difference between these two kinds of football.
Facilities are all always better with professional clubs than grassroots football. I mean, if you go to Liverpool's academy or Cardiff City's academy or any of the Premier League academies now, all the services are superb. We're quite lucky in the sense that we play on Leckworth Stadium, where this pitch is probably one of the best in the league, along with Jenner Park and Stevenage and Llanelli. But if you go to some clubs in the Welsh League, and no disrespect to them, but their pitches are awful, so the standard of football is always going to drop.
Money plays an important role in grassroots football. It is a great time for Welsh football because Cardiff City and Swansea City both play in the Premier League. When everyone looks at the top, it is important to know what is happening at the grassroots level. They also need support.
Financial support is always good. Then obviously on top of that, maybe some restructure of the divisions, maybe support. It seems like the support predominantly goes into Welsh Premier. Division 1, 2, 3 of Welsh League is not a support.
Grassroots football is about the future. If given much support, maybe next Gareth Bale will come from grassroots football.
That's it from Cardiff News Plus for now. From all of us on the team, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week.